is causing my daughter to want to leave and grow her hair long. Rapunzel
Your
reference.
I don't
I know. I know. I had like the old Rapunzel book, and I was like, this story is different from Disney or Pixar.
I mean, Disney is always different from
The true
whatever.
source
Yeah.
material. Right. You're right. 110% right.
I couldn't sleep again last night, so I watched The Emperor's New Groove at like four
Ooh.
o'clock in the morning.
That sounds like a fun night. Even though you were trying to sleep, it sounds still fun.
It was fun. You know how I feel about The Emperor's New Groove. I love that movie so much.
It's a good movie. Slept
Yeah,
on,
it
if
is
you
a good
ask me.
movie.
I might actually put that on my watch list. So many things on the watch list.
So many things on the watch list. We're gonna watch them at some point. Will you watch with a snack in your hand? Or will you watch in silence? Are you a movie talker?
A movie talker? No, I cannot stand movie talkers.
I can't stand movie talkers either. Like, if it's a movie that I have seen 17 times and I'm with like some friends and we're just like hanging, like I'm okay with that.
Right.
But if it's a new movie that I have
Mm-hmm.
not seen and you have not
Mm-hmm.
seen and we're in the movie theater, why are you talking to me? I don't
That's a
understand.
violation. Flag on the
I
play.
flag on the play. I
I,
don't understand that.
if there's like a hype scene or something I'm really excited about, I will do the thing where I like tap you, like, oh dang, I'm
Yeah.
excited. But I'm not making eye contact with you. We're going
I
to watch
I
the movie.
I went to a movie once, this was, like, almost a decade ago, jeez, with somebody, and they were a tapper, they were a talker, they were a hit you in the chest laughter kind of person. Ooh,
Interesting.
and this was, like, in a group setting, so it's not like I could've, like, really changed my seat, but, like,
Uh-huh.
next time I mean, that was, like, the first and only movie that I've ever seen with this person.
Okay.
Never
Good.
again.
Grand
So now
opening.
I'm just, like, really picky about who I'm watching a movie with.
As you should be. Because sometimes it's
Mhm.
just like, why are you laughing at that? Why are you crying at that? Why are you talking to me? Why am I here? What is life? Yeah, you don't want one thing leads to another.
Um, I have been so I will never forget, when I watched Step Brothers in the movie theater. I went with my mom
Good movie.
and my
Whoa, whoa,
sister and
whoa.
my I know! I
Whoa,
know!
whoa, whoa,
My
whoa.
mom was like, "Family movies, Dad!" And that scene, the drum kit scene, my brother was literally on the floor of the movie theater laughing. Like, I'm just looking over at my mom like, "Oh my god, like, did you really pick this movie?" My sister just like, "Ugh, why am I not here and at home watching Grease?" And my brother is just losing it. I'm like, we need to just stick to only Disney movies as a family.
Yeah. I can't imagine watching a movie like that as a family, especially at a younger age. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
was
remember
mortified.
I was gonna say I remember the most prominent family outing movie for something we probably shouldn't have seen was Titanic, and it was just
Oh.
like we went as a family and people were talking like really good and education for the kids and stuff like that, and then it got
Mhm.
to the scene where they were jawing her, and next thing I know they were just hands over my eyes, and I was like, "What's going on? Like what is going on here?" What's going on? The next thing, and then like, of course, I'm seeing some stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's that part, and then the car part with the steamy hands again, going like
I
that.
so like I as a kid, I did not understand like what was happening. Like
Mhm.
why was there so
Right,
much
same,
steam? Like what are
same,
y'all doing? Steaming
same,
dumplings? Are you creating a sauna in the car in the 1920s?
same. I didn't had no idea what was going on, but they just knew. Cover their eyes, and I was like, "Did the church send out a memo? Like, if you take the kids to see Titanic, cover their eyes in this part." Like, I don't know what's going on, and I really don't know
Mm-mm.
what's going on now. But it's like dead bodies falling off the ship. Yeah, y'all can see that.
Right, right,
No
right.
problem. Not
Like
traumatic at
we
all.
like we need to choose a lane. Like pick a spot and park it.
Park it.
Mm-mm-mm.
Hi, friend. I'm doing better now. I'm doing better now.
Listen, y'all, we were going through it last week.
Yeah,
We were going through it. And sometimes
for
that
sure.
happens. As you know, life happens, people happen, work happens. You know, like things come at you in all different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just need to like ride that wave, give into it for a little bit, but then like, you know, surf out of it. Get into a different heat. So that's what
Yep,
we're doing. We're
that's
in
what
our
we're doing.
we're in a different surf heat. Is that the term that they use for surf challenges, for surf competitions?
I don't know. I'd have to think about Giant Tsunami or Rip Girl. That was those were years ago.
Years ago. Did you ever watch Blue Crush?
That sounds familiar. Blue Crash or Crush?
Crush. Like this was the movie that made me think, okay, I am moving to Hawaii. That's where I got Hawaiian surf and cami from, like back in middle school. And I thought,
Oh,
yeah, I was wearing puka shell necklaces. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna move to
okay,
Hawaii and I'm
okay,
gonna learn how to surf. That
okay.
never happened. Spoiler alert. But it could still happen. We don't know.
It could still happen. There's plenty of time, plenty of life left. You're laughing. I'm not.
No, it's true. There is plenty of life left. I could do it.
You could do it.
Probably not right now because the people of Hawaii are like, stop coming here, please.
Listen, and you know what's crazy? Since oh well, it's always been stop coming here, but it's been an influx, and
Yeah.
a crazy influx because people are like, oh, the pandemic is, weaning off, it's waning down. So yeah, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
travel and forget, whatever you want.
Right,
It's about
right,
me and what
right.
I want. So yeah.
What a wild time we live in. It's wild. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing
I
because
know. Listen, you don't have to explain it to me or the
I
audience.
have been
Well,
doing a lot of that recently. Like I've just been laughing uncontrollably at everything and
yeah.
anything. And I'm like, is this the beginning of the end?
Listen, I'm with you. I had one of my friends ask me, he was like, do you laugh when you nervous when you're nervous? And I was like, I guess I do now. Like it didn't used to be a thing for me, but yeah, maybe I guess I do. Where I'm just like, this isn't funny, but it just comes out.
Yeah. Sometimes I laugh when I'm sad because like I know if I laugh long enough I'll cry.
And you want to get it out.
I just need to get it out.
Okay.
Mhm.
At least you're
I know.
aware of it. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, I'm definitely aware. Oh, I laugh at like really ridiculous things. I laugh at the most inappropriate moments as well. It's kind of a problem.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
so? Huh.
But I think that's I think that was a thing before like the pandemic and
Mhm.
before like the world was like continuing to plummet at a drastic rate.
Steep decline. Immediate steep decline.
Immediate steep declines. Like, whoa, was not ready to go downhill quite yet.
Um, do you want to get into any specifics or like gloom and doom? Do you want to like get that conversation out the way? Do you want to have any of that conversation at all? Do you want to just leave it as is because we all know the conversation? Like, how are you feeling about it?
I will say this. We all know the conversation. We all know what's happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, like my heart, my thoughts, my prayers are with the people of Ukraine and like people that are literally fighting for their lives right now
Mm-hmm.
because of a really wild leader
Mm-hmm.
just throwing a tantrum basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um but it's also hard to hear when like we're all Ukrainians and everybody is like trying to like cross the border into Poland and
Mm-hmm.
just like get to safety, but they're like pushing black people to the
Yeah.
back of the line. And I'm like the stories that I've read about like Africans not being able to get to safety, like Nigeria, like that
Yeah.
hits home for me because I'm like, because like I have friends that have family in Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
and hearing that they are that they've made it safely over the pole, and like, yes, I'm relieved, but I'm also like, what about people that look like me?
Right.
What's happening to them? Are they going to eventually get to safety, or are they just going to be left to die? Like, that's such a scary thought to have, and it
Right.
weighs heavy on me. Like, it's one of the more recent things that have been keeping me up at night. So, I mean, do I want to dwell on it and like talk about it? I mean, obviously I just like talked about it, but do I want to dive deep into
Right.
like
Yeah.
a conversation? No.
Okay.
I
Which
do
is
want to
totally
like, I
fine.
mean, yes, like we can address it. And if you want to add to it too, like please do. Like, I mean, how are you feeling about it? Do you want to have the conversation? Do you want to dive into it?
No, not at all. It's just like, I know we didn't address it, but we addressed it last episode, and I don't want it to come off as, oh, there's the elephant in the room we're not discussing. It's like
Mhm.
we're aware. Everyone is aware. So
Right.
yeah,
It's
I'm
hard
not
not to
trying
be
to.
aware.
It's like you don't have a choice but
Right.
to be
Right.
aware. So yeah, I didn't necessarily want to deep dive into it either.
Mhm. Like, how do you navigate the news
Hmm.
and your peace of mind?
Right.
Like, I feel like
In,
that's just been like a very prevalent topic ever since like the pandemic hit. And then like in the wake of George Floyd, like that was
mhm.
just like, I mean, like that's the kind of news that we hear like all the time, but like
Right.
some of our other non-black,
Non-melanated.
yeah, non-melanated counterparts will
Mhm.
were just like really introduced to like what is happening in the world. So like there
Which is
was a lot of
yeah.
wild, still baffles me to this day. um but yeah, there was a lot of heaviness that, like, I mean, I don't want to say like it would just started, because like there's that heaviness that lies with me whenever you hear a story like that, like all the
Right.
time. um and there's like, and the fact that like nothing really ever changes,
Hmm.
um it's like, ugh, well, like nothing ever changes, like this isn't news to me, I'm not surprised. But like I don't want to get to a point where I'm like dissociating and I'm ever saying things like, I don't want to hear it right now, like I've got enough going on. Like, yes, it's important to be aware, but also
Hmm.
like I gotta take care of my mental, because like if I
Yeah,
dwell on it too much, I will spiral out of control.
of course. No, I agree with that. I am more so towards the fact of I don't want to hear it, but that was before these situations started. Like I would have
Yeah.
family members like bring up news stuff that had
Mhm.
nothing to do with me, that was like basically tragic news or negative energy news, and I'm just, after a while I was like, "Hey, please don't talk to me about it if it's not
Yeah.
somebody I directly know or indirectly know, especially someone I've never met before, and you're bringing these stories to my attention 2, 3 times a day. Like I can't handle that. Like I don't want that cycling in my
Mom is
mind."
notorious for bringing up news that has nothing to do with me. I will never forget
Whatsoever.
this. It was either when I was in middle school or high school, and she was telling me the story about these two kids that were playing on the ice. I don't even know if the story took place in Atlanta or not,
Okay.
but like she told me about these two kids that they were playing on the ice, and all of a sudden the ice began to break, and the kids like went underneath the lake and they passed away. And I was
Yeah.
like, Mom, this was
Right.
not related to anything we were talking about. Where did this come from? And why
Nothing
are you telling
whatsoever.
me?
Nothing whatsoever. Yeah, I have a mom story like that too, and I don't know if it was like a ode to beware of boys, but she was like, I don't know if, but basically she was like, oh, there are these two kids at this high school that was near where we live, but I didn't go to that high school, and she was
Mhm.
like, they were dating and they were kissing, and then it turns out the boyfriend died from the kiss, and I was just like, you're not making any sense. Like, what are you
I
saying? She's like,
don't
well,
understand.
apparently he had a peanut allergy, and the girl had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich earlier on, so because she kissed him, he had an allergic.
Okay. But
Because you
like
kissed him. He had an allergic reaction and he died. And there's
it's not
no,
funny.
it's not, but we're not laughing at that. So that's okay because we know what we're laughing at. One, I don't go to this high school. You shipped me off to 3 different buses to go to a high school 4 exits away. 2, I am not kissing random people in the parking lot of the high school. 3, I don't have a peanut allergy, and my boyfriend that doesn't exist to you also does not have a peanut allergy. So what is going on here?
You know, funny story. Well, not so funny story. So I'm allergic to cashews. And every time Mikhail, like, every time he has something with cashews in it, he's like, I have to wait to kiss you because, like, I don't want you to die.
It's a true fear.
It's a true fear. I'm not like EpiPen.
Yeah. We know you.
Allergic to cashews. But like my throat gets a little itchy and I have to take a Benadryl. So I just avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
But it's just like really funny, like that's his concern. And I'm like,
that's
no.
Sweet. No. It's sweet and mindful.
It is very mindful. It's very sweet.
And also when it comes to situations like that, the first suspect is the husband. So he's like, let me just rule myself out by not being involved at all. Wait till I brush my teeth to get it planted on you because it's
I
not
always
going
tell
down.
him because of his like nonchalant behavior that if I die from like just like suddenly, like he's gonna be suspect number 1. Like the husband is always suspect number 1. So I'm just gonna leave like little traces around the house, like reverse Gone Girl him, just to like make sure that they know that he's innocent and that he would never do this to me. I don't know if it'll work, but my hope is that it's like, all right, he's clear. She cleared him for him.
If I am to go, it is not my husband. Notarized, stamp, dated, selfie with the note. Not
for real.
Yeah. So that's our little tidbit of negative news. I do try to avoid it. Again, if it's related to me directly or indirectly, or, you know, some degrees. If we're playing 6 degrees with Kevin Bacon, then if it's in one of those 1 through 6, then yeah, please inform me. But if it's something that's out of my control and extremely tragic and extremely dire, and that's going to mess with me mentally or take up too much of my time space, I don't think certain people realize that what you might be able to process things differently than other people. You might be able to hear negative news and it just flows right out. Where with me, it's like it's in there and it's gonna.
It sits in my body for more than it should. Like I have to like really release that energy, and I can't have it being stagnant in my body. Like it's detrimental to my mind.
Right.
And not like like not just my mind, like my entire body, because like I feel it.
You feel it. It's not just a mental thing. It can become physical, and that's why I'm just like, I don't want I don't want to hear or ingest or receive certain things. I don't because I'm not trying to have it take a toll on me. Specifically for this news, there are 2 accounts that I follow that aren't like politically affiliated with anyone, and that way they're just they're giving unbiased accounts,
news,
but also since they're not affiliated with anyone and they don't have any loyalties towards anyone, all the stuff they post is unfiltered. So it's kind of like destruction, devastation. Here's the honest truth. And even with that, at times I'm like, I don't want to see this. Like I was swiping around. I was swiping around and I was like, why are we just looking? I'm just going to say it on here. I was like, why are we just looking at a building? And then like 3 seconds later, the building's gone. And so I was just like, whoa, like y'all didn't preface it or anything. And I'm just like, okay, time to get off of here. You know what I mean? So
like for me, like when we recount 9/11 every year, that is something that like I cannot handle. And like last year, because it was 20 years since it happened, a lot of people were like sharing memories of that day, but like we do not need to continue showing the destruction. Like I can like hear someone's story
Mm-hmm.
without viewing the destruction. Like, I have seen it, it is ingrained in my brain. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to continuously see that, because like
Right.
my gut, like my physical reaction is to
Mm-hmm.
actually vomit.
Yeah, regurgitate. It's like
Yeah,
gut wrenching, literally. It's not just afraid.
literally.
And
Right.
it's yeah, I feel you on that. Like I don't want to continuously relive trauma. That's not something I'm interested in
Exactly.
doing. Like that trauma
Exactly.
noir, I'm not
Mm.
interested in that.
Oh, no, not at
Um
all.
yeah, I do want to segue a little bit. I have seen some people um just to be frank and honest, like shaming others for not reacting maybe as strongly or in a way that shows like overt support. And I'm not
Mhm.
down with that because people show grieving, support, love in all different kinds of ways.
Mhm.
So, specifically, like the business part of the community, there were a couple of people in comments and naysayers saying, how could you post at a time like this? How could you be trying to sell stuff at a time like this? How could you be trying to do all these things? And I'm just like, one, you don't know what's going on in the background. You don't know what they're doing, what they're donating to. Two,
Right.
it's like life doesn't stop because there's one catastrophic event. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, there's a catastrophic event, but people still have bills to pay. People still have children to take care of. People still have debts
Mhm.
to pay off. People still have goals that they're trying to reach. So
Exactly.
I would just like for people to extend some grace and a bit of
Mhm.
mind your business to when it
Mhm.
comes to people reacting and doing what they need to do, to be blunt, honestly, to survive.
Mhm.
So that was the only thing that was irritating me, is that people were being judgmental for lack of reactions.
That would irritate me too. I haven't seen a lot of that on my feeds or my timelines, but like it we are in different times right now. People are
Yeah,
trying, like, I don't think people are purposely trying to be callous towards the news, but people are trying to protect their peace and protect their mental space, and just so that they can survive the day to day.
right. Survive the day.
Right.
Right.
Survive the hour. Survive the minute.
Right.
Okay.
And it's just,
Because like
I'm
your 8 o'clock a.m. may not feel like your 4 o'clock p.m. Like,
it might not. And I'm just like, there's so
right.
many different changes and anomalies and so many different factors that go into feelings and processing emotion and processing information. And again, just to feel like there's one linear way to do it is absurd to me.
Yeah. Everybody's different. You just
Everybody's
gotta
different.
continue to, like you said, show grace, show kindness, and don't judge. You don't know what that person's going through.
Right.
You don't know how they're struggling to get through the day.
Right. Have you seen I know we talked about Hawaii earlier and we're talking about the current event situation. Do you feel like because of world current events right now that no one's really focused on COVID or everyone's just like, oh, COVID's over, you got your shot, you got your booster. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm never getting tested again.
I think people thought COVID was over in April of 2020.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Okay, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
COVID is not over.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID is never going to go away, but we are still in a pandemic.
Uh-huh.
Like, still in an official Panera's bread, Pandora's box, Pantene Pro
Pro
V,
V.
Pandemi Lovato, whatever you
Not
want to call
pandemic
it.
water.
We're still in a pandemic. And
Right.
even if the CDC says like just quarantine for 5 days if you've contacted it, or if your local communities are lifting mask mandates, we're still in the pandemic. There's
Wow.
still outbreaks happening that are
Correct.
causing like the spread and new variants to occur. We're not in endemic times. I would like to be in endemic times, because then we can treat this the way we treat the common cold, the
Mm-hmm.
flu, where you get your flu shot every year. You would just get your COVID shot every year. I mean, some people get their flu shot every year. I get mine every year, except for 2018 and 2019 were the only years that I didn't get my flu shot, but I try to get my flu shot every year.
Can we put it? Okay, may I interject real quick?
Yes, of course.
So I've never had the flu, and I've never had a flu shot. Did you catch the flu, then start getting flu shots? Like, what was the process? Do you remember chicken or egg?
I don't remember chicken or egg. I just know that I get sick a lot. And all I know is that ever since I've started wearing a mask in public spaces, I have not gotten the flu. I've not gotten sick. I've not contracted COVID. I may have contracted COVID and have been asymptomatic, but I don't know because I didn't get tested during that time if I was asymptomatic. But anytime that I felt like, did I get it? Oh my God, I should go to get tested. It's always been like, no, you're not sick with COVID. I don't know what's wrong with you.
We don't know what's wrong. We can tell you what it's not.
So, I mean, the thing is, yes, we need to return to activities, and I don't want to call it normal.
Normalcy? You don't want to say that?
I don't want to say normalcy because, like, some of the things that were implemented because of COVID were nice things. Like, why can't we continue to have like that 6 to 8 o'clock hour, or no, the 6 to 8 o'clock hour of stores being open for older people to shop?
That. Yeah, that should definitely be mandatory. Like,
that should be mandatory.
Yeah.
What's another good thing?
I'm fine with the mask staying on. Keep your stinky breath over there. Keep your coughs and your sneeze covered to yourself. I'm fine with that.
So our mask mandate where I live was expired. It has expired today, and it was not renewed.
Expiration on a mask mandate,
and it was not renewed. So the masks are not mandatory, and I think masks should be mandatory in food spaces where there's like a buffet line or a line to receive the food, because the lines today to get my lunch, and I saw people's raw hot breath breathing on some soup. I was like, cool, that's nice.
No soup
and
for
like
you.
And then, like, you know, if you're if you're naturally talking to people, like you're gonna like
spittle.
Spittle's gonna come out. So I'm like, if you're talking over the soup and your nasty spittle lands in that soup,
it's and a like special ingredient,
and then like people like ladle into the soup, they've probably like mixed it up if the soup's just been sitting there for a while, so that like all the ingredients aren't just sitting at the top, and you get more of like the filling and not too much of the broth. Like, I don't know. This all happened in the span of 1 minute. 1 minute or less. And that's where my mind went. So would I like to be able to get to this point of, yes, we are in the endemic, like, go about your business? Of course. Like, this has been very taxing, and we've lost a lot of lives that shouldn't have been lost.
Right.
In my opinion. But we need to have some sort of like consensus of let's protect one another, and like let's actually work to get to the endemic stage.
I don't see that happening. America is such an individualistic society and communalistic. They're like, what? No, everyone should be able to take care of themselves.
Yep.
Figure it out.
No, I know it's not going to happen. Like 2023 will be what? Season 4? Season 3?
Not seasons. Yikes. I see this having like a Grey's Anatomy runtime, or ER or MASH, whatever, The Simpsons, whatever show's been on for like eons and eons, because like it's no one's going to, we won't have, I can't even get my thoughts out. America will never be 100% vaccinated, 100% boosted. So you're going to have these variants and developments. So it's just like, I don't foresee this ever ending. I just see the numbers, you know, going down, declining for cases. But I don't see this ever being like fully over.
Like, I have so much COVID anxiety, and I would like to like get rid of that, because I would like to feel comfortable meeting in person with people at work, but I also just like, and this might not be a COVID thing, I just don't want to meet with my coworkers, like at all. Like I don't want to see your face. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to do what I need to do. If I need something from you, I will send you a message via Teams, like in the chat. I will not call you. You do not need to hear my voice. You have already drained enough of my energy and attention. Please do not contact me. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I hear you on that. And I think that's more than reasonable and more than fair. You don't need to follow up with something that I gave you details with in the chat or through an email or a voicemail. You don't need to see me even. We could just call, your video's not on. I'm aware that my video's not on, just like you're aware my video's not on.
Right. And I just feel like I would like to get to a point where I'm not like second guessing like my every move. Like I want to go to this restaurant with you and I want to hang out, but how crowded is this place going to be? Because like I also have like crowd anxiety.
Right.
Am I going to like contract it, be asymptomatic, give it to this old person, and this old person dies because of me? Like I hate having that thought process, but like I would like to get to a point where I don't think that anymore. Will I ever get to that point? I don't know.
I feel like eventually, yes. I'm at that point right now where I'm just like, I have all the things. I'm going out. I'm going to be as protective as I need to be, as I can be, as whatever the venue event needs to be. This past weekend, we celebrated my pop, my grandfather turning 80. And it's funny because thank you. They actually have banned us from their house for about a month or so. And the ban had lifted for a little bit, and we'd go over and they'd be wearing like 2-3 masks. We'd stay distance.
Rightfully so.
Right. But then they started watching the news, and Dr. Phil said something, or Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz said something about the pandemic is still here because people are visiting their families. That's what he said. They took it and ran with it, so we got banned again. Long story short, because I'm just going to keep going because I know you got thoughts in the comments. I'm going to keep going. Long story short, we met this weekend. Excuse me. And, excuse me. I'm going to mute. Sorry.
If you're listening right now, Coco is dying. She is coughing, wheezing. She has heartburn, nausea, indigestion, upset stomach.
Not you doing a personalized Pepto-Bismol ad for me while I'm doubled over. I cannot. I can't wait till y'all see this video.
I had to give the people
a play-by-play.
Yes.
Anyways, that's true. You couldn't have dead air. I say all that to say, we got to see them, but everyone was still masked up. It was still, keep your distance. I went in for a hug, and my happy, she was like, "Here's a pound." I'm like, okay. I have other family members there that are like, hug, kiss, kiss. And I'm like, I'm comfortable with this. And I'm okay with this. And I understand that some people are not. And I'm just like, I respect it either way. Like, but yeah, I can't just be in the house anymore. Yeah. It'll drive me bananas.
I think because I'm in the office and in some way or another, I mean, I'm not like interacting with 13,000 people every day, but like I'm seeing enough different faces like in the hallway when I go get lunch, things like that it's feeling that like, oh, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored feeling. Because definitely May 2021, I was feeling, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. Oh, that's how I was feeling.
Gotta make it through.
Yeah, I gotta get through this. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
We could go on and on and on and on.
Yeah. So eventually, we will get out of this. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. But I need to get to a point where, like, at least I'm not like dipping my toe in the water and then like running away because the water's too cold. That's kind of where I am right now.
So how have you been staying connected with people since you're not doing as many in-person interactions? Like, are you on like High Five? Are you on Tagged? Are you on Google Plus? Like, what are you doing to make sure you look so surprised?
I got some
Are you on
weird.
Tumblr?
Sorry.
What's going on?
There's like a weird pop-up
Okay.
saying that
Do I need to
okay.
turn news on? Do I need to turn my
No,
news on?
no, I think you should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Can you repeat the
Well, now I feel like I need to go to news or
No,
something.
no. Oh no, it wasn't like a news thing. It was like
Okay.
a oh, you look like you're running out of storage. And I'm like,
Oh.
sorry.
Oh,
Oh my god, sorry.
Tammy. It's like, is this it? Is this the farewell episode?
Oh my gosh, no. I'm so sorry.
You don't have anything to be sorry for, but given the times we're in, that's where my head went. I'm like, I keep all my
Right.
news off, but I need that alert.
I get that. I
Let me
don't
see.
have news alerts on my phone.
Let me see if I can set my joke up again. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying, how are you staying in contact with people nowadays since you're lessening the in-person interaction? Are you using Tagged? Are you using High Five? Are you using Tumblr, Stumble Upon, Google Plus? Like,
What are you? What?
how are you? Right, that's the reaction I was expecting. That's why I was like, the world must be ending if she didn't.
No, no, no. Wow, tagged.
Throwback, right?
Whoa. Well, I'm not using any of those mediums because they're dead. Tumblr is still around, but I feel like the vibe of Tumblr has changed.
It probably definitely has changed. Yeah.
Because I remember I used to use my Tumblr for like cute fashion ideas
Mhm.
and my polyvore sets that I would create
Mhm.
and fashionable moments that happened like at red carpets and award shows and things like that.
Mhm.
Oh, wow, what a
That sounds so
time.
cool. I have or had, but technically still have a fake Tumblr, like a Finsta, but for Tumblr.
Oh,
So
a
yeah,
fumbler.
yeah. Okay, okay. On the spot, on the dot, ad lib who, ad lib you. Okay. Fumbler. I have a fumbler. I fumbled the flop. Yes. I'm a fumbler. Yes. We'd love to hear it. Anyways, I have a Tumblr and it got a lot of like follows. And it was
Did
so funny.
it?
Yes. And it was so funny to me because I was like, nobody knows that this is me. Nobody knows that this is me. And I wish I would have kept it like super active because maybe I could have monetized it by now. But it was fun
Yeah,
back then, like being like, nobody knows this is me.
because you're an international
International
super
super
spy.
spy. Super spy. Yeah. I do need some clarity on Google Plus. I literally Googled what is Google Plus, and they were like, cannot be found, does not compute.
Okay. So one of my friends went to the doctor the
Hmm.
other day, and her doctor's office, like everybody's got to be on some sort of social media
Right.
platform. So you could find them on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. And so she's texting us in the group chat, and she's like, I'm so upset about the wait time of this doctor's office, mainly because they're advertising Google Plus. And I had literally forgotten about Google Plus. So I was like, maybe they are using Google Plus. And she was like, Cammy, Google Plus is gone. And I like I looked it up. The article's headlines was like, Google Plus dead for years.
Oh my gosh.
And that's when I lost it. I was like, all right, the internet won. Thank you very much. Good night. Bye.
Not dead for years.
And I was like, wow. Like, I mean, I think Google Plus came around like 2009,
Okay.
2010.
Okay.
And then it was like, I mean, because Google and YouTube, like they're all like linked together.
Yep.
So I I was like, oh yeah, like this was a thing. It was supposed to be like a way, like another like social media connection thing,
Okay.
but like with closer contacts or like your email contacts.
Mm.
It didn't really lift off. I don't really know what the point of Google Plus was. I think I used it for GChat.
Okay, that I do know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, Google Plus, I've never used that before, I don't think.
Yeah. Wow. That was a good laughter of like a 15-minute laughing session for me. I still like I would randomly think about it today and I'm like Google Plus, they really tried.
I just don't recall that. But during that time, I probably wasn't focused on like social media and stuff like that at that time. But it's not like a prevalent memory for me.
Right. I think the only social media that I was really using at that time, I think Pinterest was around at that
Yes,
time.
for sure.
I don't think I was using Twitter at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I used Facebook, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And they won't let you forget it either. Remember this day 10 years ago.
Oof. Whenever I don't have Facebook anymore, but when I was on Facebook and they would just like show memories of things that I posted on people's walls, I'm like, ew, that's how I used to talk. Get me off of this island immediately. Immediately.
Expeditiously. Expedite
Oh
me.
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
thought that was too.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you remember Tagged?
Of course. It was like the thing. I feel like it was like the Facebook's version of Poked, and you can also like
Yeah.
chat with people and stuff like that. I think Tag and High Five were the same in that
I
regard.
don't remember High Five.
Okay.
I remember Tagged because Tagged had like all those like stickers.
Yeah.
They were like different, basically like emojis that you would send to people.
Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of which, I
Memory
know that
unlocked.
the new iPhone update has like 30 new emojis.
I
And
haven't
one
updated yet.
I haven't updated either, but I heard that one of the emojis is the heart emoji.
We already
Like with
have a
your
heart
hands.
emoji.
No, with your hands.
Oh.
Yeah.
You think it's worth the update? Because, with updates comes like.
I know. I've purposely not been leaving my phone on the charger at night so that it doesn't automatically update.
Right. I don't know about that.
Just like, just continue life. And then if you feel the need to update.
If you feel the need to update.
It's not like Google Plus. It's not going anywhere.
Shady boots. Shady. Speaking of going somewhere, so I ordered something. It's not what you think. I ordered something, right? And so
no.
I was really, really, really excited to get this thing. Okay, you guys, I'm just going to be transparent with you all real quick. If you follow us, and if you add to the Patreon, you'll be able to see this in what's the countdown now? Like a month and a half. You'll be able to pay for this. So I'm going to give you a little insight. One of our topics that we didn't fully get to delve into was Camille ragging on me and my pot selection and the stuff that I use to cover my pots and my pans and my bakeware, the stuff I use to protect the longevity of my items, right? And so there was a sale that happened, and it was a dumb sale. It was dumb. It was like you can get this set of
pause. No. I would just like to say that Coco told me about this dumb sale after the fact. She didn't let me know that there was a dumb sale going on, that pots and pans needed to be bought. She didn't let me know. So, like, you know what? No, I'm kidding. But
I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to protect you from the hands of capitalism. I don't want you. Yeah, I just want to protect you from the hands of capitalism. We shouldn't both spend our money. That's wild. Anyways, it was a dumb sale. It was like this stainless steel pot set was, I'll just round up for you. No, I'll tell you. It was like $59. Or you can get 2 sets of the pots for $56. It
Were
was
they the
really
same
dumb.
brand?
Same brand, same exact thing. If you added one set to the cart, it was $59. If you added two sets to the cart, the whole total became $56. So I was like,
That's wild.
2 sets. And I ordered it, right, you guys? And they're not paying us for this. This is not an ad placement. It was from Macy's, right? And also, stuff has been happening where I needed to redirect some of my attention. So I ordered some puzzles as well. Ordered 2 Harry Potter puzzles, right? So I got a notification that my package was delivered. I went out to grab it, and I literally picked it up with one hand, and I was like, these must be
You
some
shouldn't
light
be able
pots.
to. You're not supposed to pick up 2 sets of pots with one hand,
right? So I put it over there, and I didn't think anything about it. Then the next day, I started unpacking stuff, and I was like, there's only one puzzle in here, and there are no pots. So then I looked at the label. The label said 20 pounds, and I picked up the box with my thumb and my pinky, and I was like, no, not 20 pounds. So then I started the process. I'm going to shorten this story. I started the process to return, but I was also curious, like, yo, who stole my stuff, right? I say all this to say, how do you feel about people who steal items? Because I feel like sometimes if it's like, okay, I can see why you stole this. You really, really, really needed it. But I don't feel like someone needed 2 sets of pots, me included. It was just a dumb sale. I feel like you did not need 2 sets of pots and one of my Harry Potter puzzles. That's another thing that upset me. Why would you only take one? Why not take 2? There are 2 different puzzles. Why only take one? So that's where I'm at right now.
Was your package tampered with? Like, was it?
The tape looked loose, but it wasn't like it was cut open. But it was definitely where you could like flip it up, get in the box, put it back down. It was definitely not secure.
Was it like paper tape?
It was packing tape. But they also have like the brown tape on the other side.
Because I feel like a lot of packages lately don't have like clear tape on them.
Really?
They have like, yeah, like they have that like paper tape where like you basically can just like rip it open as soon, like you don't need a box cutter. And I'm like, this feels not secure. What's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening for real?
Yeah.
So that it's odd to me though, because like I don't know if that's like something that your area deals with. Like, do you have a lot of porch pirates?
I've
like,
never
is
had
this
that
your
happen
first?
before. This is
Is
my
this your
first
first
time.
delivery?
It's not my first delivery. I get stuff delivered, I'd say, quite often. And it just also confused me because I'm like, as soon as I received the delivery notification, I grabbed it, which leads me to believe that it was taken possibly by the delivery facility. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because this doesn't feel very porch pirate to me. It feels like warehouse to truck misplacement. Because
Right.
Amazon does that all the time, and it's very annoying, especially when I'm expecting something that I need right away, and then all of a sudden I'm getting a notification that says, oh, your package will be delivered tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and then my package is not delivered, and then they're giving me a notification that, yeah, it might get delivered the next day, and if it's not, we're sorry. You can start the process for a refund. And I'm like, no, I ordered this for a reason.
Oh my goodness, that's wild because I've never had that happen with Amazon ever in my
that has
entire
happened
life.
to me like at least 5 times.
That is very wild. When I say I've never
5 times too many.
like a delay, no, that's never happened. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
When things like this happen, if you're the company, how do you feel about like, okay, yeah, just send a replacement? Yeah, like after a while, that adds up. So I'm trying to figure out, because even I was talking to the representative, like, is there any investigative work you all can do? And they're like, well, it's the stuff that they can do, but I'm just in charge of the refund department. Do you want a refund or a replacement? And I was like, a replacement, please, because it was a dumb sale. So definitely a replacement, but I'm also like, you guys just replaced $200 worth of, you know what I mean, pots and pans. that doesn't make any sense. Well, for the retail value, not what I paid. But you get what I'm saying? I'm like, that stuff adds up over time. If everybody who's ordering stuff is saying, well, I didn't get it, or if it was tampered with, when do you decide, oh, let me see what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the company. I mean, it's a company like Macy's, Amazon, Target, Walmart. If I didn't get my stuff, I'm expecting them to replace it. They have the money to do so. And that's just how I've always felt.
Okay.
But like if it's from a small business, I don't know how I would go about the process. I guess like number one, I would check their return policy, because smaller businesses like don't necessarily have as much as
Yeah.
of the production that bigger companies do. So number one, I would check their before I purchase anything. I would check their refund policy or return policy. Number two, if my package was stolen, received damage, then I'd be like, could I get a replacement?
Okay.
Or like a partial refund or something.
Okay.
I would see like what it also just depends on like the customer service too. Because if the customer service is shoddy, then I'm gonna be like, all right, I will rip you to shreds and I will get my comeuppance.
I'm down with that. I am definitely someone who's like, you know, if I'm coming to you gingerly, like, hey, is that the word? Is that the right phrase?
Gingerly, yeah.
I'm
like softly.
Gingerly, like, hey, this is what's going on, and you're being very like not helpful or not trying to work with me for something that was not within my control or my fault. Yeah, we're gonna get into those reviews. We're gonna get into the word of mouth. We're gonna get into the social media DMs for the company.
Right.
That's what we're gonna have to do. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you didn't get your package, but I hope that the replacement comes, because especially when you're excited and then when you get that delivery notification, it's like, oh boy, Santa's here, but Santa actually is not here. It's his brother Atlas.
Right. And like I said, I saw it was delivered, and even when I was like, this is light, in my head I was like, oh, it must be a partial shipment. And so the next day before I opened it, I did check, and it was like, oh, all your things have been delivered. And I was like, no, they haven't. There's no way. No way that my things are delivered. Open it up.
Stop playing. Where's the rest of it?
Where the rest of my things at, please and thank you. Yeah. So that's how it is. Sometimes I'm just tired of humans. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know about living on this planet. I don't know if there's an alternative where I don't have to pay like $50,000 million to go to space and stuff like that. But I feel like
go to Doja's planet.
Listen, Planet Her is popping. I go there every day. Planet Her every day, honestly. And I love, she and her team are so creative and integrative, especially with like women in technology and girls who code and just getting into that like virtual reality and like getting away from stuff. How do you feel about that? People who are just like, yeah, I'm checking out. Like, I'm done with the humans on Earth right now. I'm about to go into my Oculus. I'm about to go into my PlayStation, my Xbox Connect, and I'm just checking out for now.
I think it's fine. I know that I did it at the height of the pandemic when Animal Crossing came out. I was like, all right, listen, I'm buying Animal Crossing. I'm visiting all of my friends' islands. I'm hanging out with them. I'm collecting all the things. Right. I'm growing all the things. I'm going to build this island to how I like it. It was exciting. It was fun. Because, like, even when I couldn't physically be together with, and I live far away from a lot of my friends and family, but like it was just like an everyday activity that I could do with all of my friends, and just like there was a lot of reconnection there. There was a lot of reconnection in like playing Among Us. I know that you and I played Among Us a lot. Like that was super fun. And there was another group that I played Among Us with, and like I made new group. I mean, there was only one
Whoa.
Anyway, but I met new people and I like made new connections that way. So
Yeah.
that was pretty fun and pretty cool. And like now, like with Wordle, I mean Wordle. I feel like I thought Wordle was gonna be like the new Among Us, but like it's slowly turning into this thing where it was fun at 1st, but now like there was this guy that basically created it for his wife because like his wife was like bored.
Question.
Or something like yeah.
So I've seen people posting about Wordle, but it's one of those things where I'm like, too many people are on it. I'm not interested right now. Is it like crossword puzzles for everyone? Like Words with Friends meets crossword puzzles? What is it?
No.
Okay.
It's basically a daily puzzle, and you get 6 tries to guess a 5-letter word.
Okay.
And the word is different every day. And it used to be really fun, and the words used to be very unique. But ever since the New York Times, like, I guess, bought Wordle from this guy, all of the words have included double letters. And before, I thought the rule was every letter was unique. And it wasn't the case before, but like every now and then there'd be a double letter challenge. You're like, oh, okay, like they really got me with that one. That was a close call. But the New York Times is tripping. There are too many a double letter word every single day. New York Times, what's good?
New York Times is tripping.
It is.
I can't.
Like if I wanted to be upset, I'd do the crossword puzzle. Like Wordle's supposed to be like a simple, like I'm waking up in the morning. Here are my 3 guesses because I usually guess in 3. I don't need to guess a double letter word in 6. Those days are so frustrating. If I guess a word in 6 tries, I'm livid. I'm not starting my day off on the right note.
But you only have 6 tries, so isn't it a good thing that you guessed it within 6 tries? Besides, like
no, it makes me feel like a loser because my average is to guess it in 3.
Okay.
Yes. There are some people out there that have been lucky enough to guess it in 2, and to them, I'm like, whatever, show off. But like secretly, I'm happy for you.
I like how you rolled your eyes when you said happy. Secretly, I'm happy for you.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Are you playing anything right now?
Am I playing anything right now?
Are you doing anything that's like group gaming? I don't even know if that's like the right term.
We do still have game nights sometimes in one of our Discords, but it's like everyone's so busy and everyone's doing so many different things. And we played with the idea of having a dedicated game night, and it's just like, no, because events come up and stuff happens. So it's kind of just like you have to see the chat. Everyone has to be available, you know what I mean? Or at least the minimum amount of players. So we'll do it that way. But the other thing I'm playing is not VR based. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. Like the original Kingdom Hearts came out like 20 years ago, and then they took forever to release the 3rd one. So,
oh wow,
yeah, it's funny. I was playing the other day, and my friend was on the phone, and he was like, "Why do I hear Donald Duck in your background?" And I was like, "Cause he's helping me get the Heartless. What you mean? He's helping me get the Heartless." He was like, "Why are you playing a game?" And I was like, "You don't understand. This is part of my gaming history. I have to play this game." He was just like, "Okay." I'm like, "Okay, sorry about yourself."
So series like that, like Kingdom Hearts, where it takes like forever for them to release like the next game. And is this something that released on all consoles or just one particular console?
So definitely all consoles. The way Kingdom Hearts worked, though, they released the first one, then they released like in between games, like a 2 point whatever, 1 point whatever, or Kingdom Hearts, subtitle type stuff. So it took forever for them to release the 3rd one. But yeah, they had these little in between games and stuff, but I didn't play those.
So recently there's been, I feel like, I guess Pokemon is having a moment because I feel like Pokemon releases a game every 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all.
A heart so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you.
Pokemon!
Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon.
Love a duet.
Man, like that song is just so inspirational.
Inspirational. And now she said, I wanna be the very best that no one ever was. Like, that's some deep
dun, dun, dun.
To catch them is my big quest. To train them is like he had straight goals.
Yes.
This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to get there. He had it planned out. He was like, what, 12? He's been 12 for like 30 years. I don't know.
30 years. I mean, like the cast of Arthur. They've been 8 for forever. For 25 years, they've been 8.
It's wild. It's super wild.
But there's just so many Pokemon games that I cannot keep up. But like whenever Mikhail is like, yeah, this is what I'm streaming. And I'm like, oh, it's this one. And he's like, no, it's this one that like released 2.5 seconds ago. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you're probably going to get the game that's going to release like tomorrow. So I will have to relearn all of the games that have released.
Right. Yeah. I was aware of most of them, but I was only made re-aware of this latest release because my brother was mentioning it. And so he started playing and streaming. And I was like, oh, okay. Pokemon's having another moment. I mean, Pokemon's always in a moment, but a new release.
A new release.
A new release.
So this is not a serious question that I had, but it's something that's been looming on my mind for a while.
Not looming.
And I thought about it today, and I had a great laugh. And I was like, you know what, Coco would appreciate this, and I feel like you did.
Okay.
Were the popular kids in school always buying ice cream and Fruitopia? Was that a symbol of status in grade school?
That and the 3 for $1.05 cookies, yes. Going to the cookie lady meant you had shmoney, yes.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about this guy from the first middle school that I went to, and he would always get like one of those chocolate, like it was a cookies and cream ice cream cone where like the ice cream was cookies and cream, the cone was cookies and cream, and it had this like chocolate outer shell.
Oh man, like that sounds delicious.
I got that, I was like, this is a treat, and I'm excited.
This is a true treat.
But like, this guy would get an ice cream every single day, and I'm like, wow.
Like in addition to lunch?
In addition to lunch. That's I felt like Quinta, you got money! We had some technical difficulties, and we're back.
And we're back like we never left, talking about all the people that were in line to the left. What were they waiting for? The ice cream. Ice cream. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And what else? Fruitopia is on the shelf. Hey.
I have no idea what you're singing, but I like it.
It was a freestyle about the people that were balling in the high school. Balling in the high school. Buying whatever they want because they know their pockets rule. 50 cents here, $1.05 there. Oh my goodness. They buying snacks everywhere.
Everywhere. Buying snacks everywhere. Andy's Fried Fruitopia. What you got under the table? I don't know. I lost it. The rodeo.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Not in middle school. Oh no. What am I talking about? Yeah. Awkward. Here we go. We're back. Like we never left. Boom.
Like we never left. Boom. I like that.
So yeah, popular kids with shmoney monies bought ice cream and Fruitopias. Does Fruitopia still exist? Does Sobe? Do you remember Sobe drinks?
I do. With the little lizard.
Yeah,
I don't like those.
Really? I love the strawberry daiquiri one.
That one was really popular. I remember the
Mm-hmm.
popular drinks, and I remember not liking a lot of them. My
What was
thing
it?
when it came to vending machine was like the Powerades. Like back in the day, like the little bubbly like Powerades. I
Yeah.
love me some Powerade. I don't know why.
Interesting.
So I wasn't expending energy where I needed more electrolytes. But I love Powerade. I wasn't. I wasn't.
Listen, Black History Bowl team really took a lot of energy.
Mm,
Just throwing that out there. Those were a lot of facts that you had to cram in.
I believe you.
That
What
deserves a Powerade.
that deserves a Powerade.
That's a Gatorade commercial right there. Give me my Letterman jacket. Thank you very much.
Did you play any sports in high school? Or were you...
Next question.
All right. So,
Did you?
Yeah, I played tennis.
Oh, look at you!
It wasn't
Okay,
like I was Venus or Serena,
Oh,
but tennis,
okay.
barely. And I used my vocal instrument. I was in the choir as well, inspirational
Okay.
voices.
I did choir. I did debate team. I did science Olympiad. And I was in a couple of plays.
What's Science Olympiad?
The one at my second school.
What is it though?
Oh, so basically you study a lot of different aspects of science. So it could be forensics, it could be physics, chemistry, whatever. My specialty was food science. I placed my senior year, I placed fourth, I think, at regionals
Oh, that's cool.
in food science. And then I was thrown into forensics at the last minute for state, and I got 8th place. And this was after I was very upset about this, like getting 8th
Why?
place
You
in state.
placed.
I know, but like I wasn't going to like nationals.
Okay, Akila. Like, what's going on here?
But I was so upset. Like I was crying. I called my mom. I was like, I got 8th place, and she's like, yeah, in state. Like,
I mean, I respect you being upset, but I feel like good job.
yeah, everyone was like, do you understand how good this is? Like you basically had like not that much time to study for this event, and you placed 8th. Like,
Knocked it out. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Like, but I didn't win. I need to get over that.
It's
I'm
okay if you don't.
such a nerd.
That was cool. That's cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, my biggest accomplishment in life.
All right. Something else I wanted to just touch on very quickly. I know we're wrapping stuff up because we talked about VR in games, and I'm just wondering if you ever think about like the movies that we have. And one of my like favorite, just like weird futuristic movies was Demolition Man. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's
I've never.
Sandra Bullock. What's the guy who plays Rocky? What's Sylvester?
Oh, Sylvester Stallone.
And it's just so odd and weird and funny to me. But that was one of the first like futuristic type movies that like really stayed in my head. Are there any movies where you're just like, okay, yeah, I can see this becoming true? Or even I think about if we're looking at real life, like Japan, specifically Japan and China, but specifically Japan is like they're living in the year 3030. Like they're out of here. They've been out of here. Is that something you're looking forward to? Is this something you're not really focused on? Like the futurism of it all, or being able to like permanently check out from a physical Earth?
I would say that I have been looking forward to the future for a very long time. I think the way it's portrayed, the way it has been portrayed in media over the years, or just like, you know, like film and music and things like that, has evolved, but also it's very confusing because like if you think about the Jetsons, we're living in what they thought
would be
like the 2020s. And we don't, but I mean, I guess like Teslas could be on the rise to a flying car.
Well, they have okay, so there's been this company, and I just found this out like I think a couple of weeks ago, and they have a car that will transform into a boat, but it's kind of just like, and they've been in development. I think it's like 10 or 15 years that they've been developing this, and it exists, but it's like all the rules and regulations that would go against that. Someone was in the comments. It was like, "There's no way they're gonna let this pass. Y'all like to ride around on E. Can you imagine a flying helicopter just crashing because you thought you could make it to the next island?" And I was like, "He's right. He's right."
Points were brought up, and these are facts. Like,
valid,
very valid.
What's something I'd say that you, besides like phones or I guess common technology that maybe we didn't have growing up that we have now, and you're like, yo, how did I ever live without this?
This is gonna sound so dumb.
No.
But I mean, this is like a pseudo answer to what you're asking, but I just remember when caller ID hit the scene, and I'm like, I can't imagine a world where I'm not able to like see the number and just like not pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a deep appreciation for caller ID. I have a deep appreciation for Scam Likely. Like thank you so much. Because I do not need Joan the Scammer like calling me.
Yes.
What else do I appreciate? I'm trying to think of something that I appreciate that I use in like day to day life.
I know that was on the spot, but that question
no.
me just now we were talking about all these futuristic things and sleep pods and just so even some of the stuff that they have in the movie. They have like these sleep chambers, they have virtual reality, they have sleep pods, they have all these things you can do if you want to alter your body, if you want to shapeshift, if you want to change. And I'm just like,
ooh, I could get behind shapeshifting.
Wouldn't it be interesting and fun?
Yeah, like
come putty and just walk around as
like Alex McBealing it everywhere.
Oh, okay, silver goop. Okay, silver.
Yes, goop. I would. I mean, I would be down. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to, or what aspect of the future are you like excited about? I can't get down to like AI and like the human robot features. Like that freaks me out. Like if you're gonna be a robot, just be a robot. Be Ultron for me, okay?
I am not okay. I am very okay. I feel like okay. I'm sorry. I told you before, I always have all these thoughts in my head. My brain was like, how can we convey 5 at the same time? Like, you can't.
Have you ever seen the 5-way intersection? That's what that moment was.
Right. It's like the start. It's like we're all here. What do we do now? Just keep saying okay. Okay. I'm sorry, because now I'm just like, okay, now I can say I want to say, but I don't know which thought is
just pick one of them.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I feel like a lot of these movies that they give us are kind of like blueprints or predictive programming. And I'm not going to get too much into the conspiracy bag, especially since we're wrapping this up. But I'm just like, is this predictive programming or was this the blueprint for what we expect to happen? So I feel like if the robots are saying, yeah, we're going to start thinking for ourselves and we're going to mess some stuff up, why are we looking at all these movies like it's just a movie? They talked about this program system. Of course, I don't remember the name of it, but they were like, we developed this coding, and the coders, the coding started talking to each other, and they developed their own language, and they were like, we shut it down. And I was like, if these computers are talking to themselves, do you not think they have a workaround for your shutdown? You've lost your mind if you think they still not communicating how to take it.
Oh, absolutely.
You've lost your mind. So
no, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, honestly.
I'm like, and they're like, oh, the robots will come in. They'll make everything easier. They'll automate stuff. And I'm like, my dishwasher is the only robot I need. The TV is the only robot I need. Like, I don't need someone coming in, watching the kids, feeding the dog. That is not like, I don't need you doing that. I don't need you developing feelings. I don't need you like developing possessions. Like, I don't need any of that.
I just need my robot to be a robot. Just like give me like did Rosie have feelings, or was she just like, here are your shoes?
I feel like Rosie did have emotions and feelings. I feel like
okay, well, I mean, maybe we could be on Rosie's level, but I feel like Rosie was gonna like one day just like
go crazy
give
on
up.
the Fritz,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She was definitely gave me on the Fritz vibes for sure.
Oh yeah. And then like guns would come out of her eyeballs and she'd be like pew pew pew, like laser beams.
Right. And it's just like, we never gave her lasers, but she's an artificial intelligence being. She really
made those lasers.
Thank you.
She made those lasers.
I'm glad I don't have to explain or
no, I get it. I get it.
I'm really glad, because some people just don't get it. Like, it's technology. We're developing A, B, C, D, F, G, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, you keep thinking that one of these days.
Right, I'm just gonna put on my Oculus and good luck, y'all, on Earth. Good luck.
All right, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, I think so. Is there anything else you'd like to leave the listeners with?
Brush your teeth, floss, drink water more than once a day if you can.
Okay.
Take your medicine.
Yeah.
Call your people. Check up on your people.
Yeah.
But also give yourself some grace.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't taken a bowel movement in 3 days, look into it.
Whoa.
Hey, we all do it. We all got one.
Look into what? How are you supposed to look into that? You should have a doctor look into that.
Well, I mean, like, you could take some smooth move.
You could take some what?
Smooth move. It's a tea.
Oh, I meant literally. I'm like, how am I supposed to look into that? I would need a mirror. It would be a whole situation.
I mean, I don't know how flexible you are. You can spread those cheeks with a hand mirror. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. It was so great talking to you all. They can find us on Instagram at 2 Peaches with the Pod. They can find us on Google Podcasts. They can find us on Apple Podcasts. They can find us on Anchor. They can find us on YouTube. We have visuals on the YouTube. So if you're hearing us and you want to see what we look like, you can come do that. If you're watching us, but you can't watch us, you can't take the video where you're going, you still want to listen, keep us in your AirPods, keep us on your Walkman, keep us on your speakerphone.
On your Walkman?
On whatever device they're listening to, yes.
Okay, if you got a Walkman still, please contact me. I have questions.
Not everybody is with the technology. You know what I mean?
True. I get it. But I have questions. Like, where can I cop one?
You want a Walkman?
Man, like sometimes you just want to like pop a cassette in and listen.
That's cool.
Do
you have a cassette?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. All right. Like, I know I have CDs and you probably have CDs, but I was like, cassette? I don't know anybody with a cassette.
I want to watch a Disney movie on VHS just so I can smell the container.
I want to do that just so I can use the VHS rewinder. We used to have the little machine, you plug it in and it goes.
I never had one of those. You're so cool.
You had to do it by hand. Like, how else would you rewind
it? Well, the VCR just rewound it.
Oh, you did the rewind. Oh no.
Yeah, you had like one of those Blockbuster situations. Yep. Wow. That is fancy.
A little bit, you know. It's not Fruitopia and cookies and ice cream, but it was something.
Wow, you got money! All right, y'all. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.